This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is Schala Zeal, a lolcow on the internet that I encountered months ago and that I catfished with a 16-year-old decoy. And there's a lot to be discussed whenever it comes to this individual. She made a few videos calling me out and then walking it back and saying that I was correct about everything the whole time. But all of this began back in May earlier this year, and whenever Shala started having issues with someone named BSR, a troll if you will, someone who is harassing Shala, talking smack about Shala, angry at Shala, and Shala showed up on panel. The people on there were doing slights at her and that she wasn't picking up, and it was really awkward, and it generally was not a very great time for old Shala. Having a bad history of trolls, Shala went out of her way to contact me and tell me this. So I had reported one of the BSR members to the embassy in Japan some months ago after they live streamed swatting someone on Nate's behalf. The FBI contacted me a few weeks later and I gave them everything I know, including BSR's involvement. They gave me a legit FBI.gov email address to forward evidence to. And after some radio silence, they contacted me again. I'm certain that BSR is being looked into by the FBI. But that's just where our story began, ladies and gentlemen. This began with a lolcow being trolled and asking me for help. And logically, I just saw them as a sad little sad sap, and I decided to give them a hand, which is my first mistake.
The last time we had our chitty chat, we were all on the same page, or at least I thought we were, regarding the no more Nate Sujanin, no more BSR, where you were not going to associate with them in any fashion, shape, or form. There was going to be zero tolerance for that, and I was under the impression that we were all on the same page with that. However, it seems as though I was absolutely wrong. It seems as though you not only are you following Nate Sujanin, but
I'm actually not.
Oh, hold on. Let me talk, Shala. And apparently, you're part of this Nate Sujanin watch group or something. From what you were texting me, it just seems completely opposite to what our understanding was, because you understand
You kind of
really in
there you go.
a very precarious position right now.
There you go.
So you're in a precarious position, Shala. We were under the agreement that you were going to keep your head down. You weren't going to associate with anything with BSR or with the Nate situation. And it seems as though, with that last mistake you made when you jumped on there as Shala and made a comment in his group, it just pretty much undid everything we were trying to do. There's the first issue I'm having. On top of that, it seems as though you can't seem to help yourself. This Nate guy seems to be an obsession of yours, and it's becoming a problem and more so a liability, and I'm going to tell you why. You've already been kind of marked on YouTube for some of the past situations, specifically the BSR panel, and we've been trying to do damage control when it comes to your individual situation. And since you haven't been doing what we've been suggesting, quite the opposite, you're just digging yourself a deeper hole, and that leads to a whole other problem. That leads to a liability. And that's to all the members in the Moth Nest. Because even, let me put an example. You posted this really weird picture the other day. I think I mentioned it about it.
Oh, the Pokemon character?
Right. Okay. So it was weird. People didn't get the context, and you have to understand that our channel is not secure. We do have people in there that take screenshots of this shit, and if people are still interested in you, Shala, they're just building a further case. Okay, it looks bad. It looks bad for you, and then if it looks bad for you, it looks bad for us. And right now, I'm at the point where I honestly feel as though you either don't care or you can't help yourself, and I'm not sure which it is. But the problem with that lies in when you continue to do this shit, you're gonna end up turning into a cow. You say things that you shouldn't tell people. I'm going to bring up one of the things I don't think you should ever tell people. The bathing weekly thing, you should never bring that up to anybody. There's no reason you should ever bring that up, because that's a bad thing. I understand that you like to share things about your life and everything like that, and I get that. I do. But you have to understand that some things come across as weird, strange, or they just.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Shala, you only shower once a week?
Well, I mean, once or twice, but like this is in comparison to like other people, like Joss or even Cyrax who never showered.
Okay,
Seems like.
I wanna pump the brakes, as I say. Shala, I don't know what to say about that. You know that, like, just because you're showering more than Cyrax, you know that you're supposed to shower, like, every day.
I actually did, but I was told that's bad for my scalp or my hair because it just.
Showering with hot water is bad. I don't know what to say about that. Shala, take a shower every day. Like, being clean is a very important thing in life.
I mean, it does feel nice.
Well, yeah, that's because humans were brought up, and when humans weren't cleaning themselves, they got sick, and they probably after not cleaning themselves enough. And
right.
The standard is you're supposed to take a shower at least like once a day. Some people take showers twice a day. And if you're worried about hot water damaging your skin or hair or whatever, do like warm showers. Don't do hot showers. Do like a mix of cold and hot.
Yeah, like a loop temperature. That's actually really good for your skin. If you're worried about your scalp, you don't have to wash your hair every day. I mean, a lot of ladies wash their hair every other day. But you gotta be, if you don't do that kind of stuff, you're gonna get skin issues. You're gonna get skin infections. It might be some of the reason why you.
That would explain a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Doogie, I see you.
I'm gonna.
See, I thought a weekly was moderate, but I thought
No, that's like Soviet. That's like Soviet Cold War conditions. That's what Russian people used to. That was like a Russian ration thing back in the Cold War, back when like it was Soviet Russia, man. We live in modern times.
Okay.
People are supposed to bathe daily. I mean, personally speaking, I usually bathe sometimes twice a day. Point is,
I used to do it every other day, but I kind of spaced out a bit. I thought, okay, well, as long as I'm doing it once a week, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, hold on. I got a question, and this is a personal question. So, you only showering like once or twice a week. Nobody like said anything to you about this? Like, I know you're married. Like, what?
Well, I forget the context of it. I forget the context.
Context?
Yeah, I mean, I don't randomly blurt it out. That there's usually a context that kind of motivates me to say this, even though I shouldn't. I will acknowledge that I've been oversharing, and
Shala. No.
Yeah?
That doesn't. First of all, that doesn't answer my question. Second of all, this isn't just about oversharing. This is about you're not taking care of your body. Whenever you don't shower, like if I don't shower for a day, I feel filthy. I feel nasty.
Okay.
I feel gross. I can't imagine what it would be like to only take a shower like twice a week, maximum.
All right. Well, this is the first time I'm hearing of this information. Like I grew up. Well, I mean, when I go out to the doctor and stuff, of course I'll shower, but it's just this like I'm supposed to shower every day as opposed to like moderately. Well, what I thought was moderately. That's new to me.
Showering every day is like standard. That's standard. You can take as many showers as you want per day. Like I said, there are people that I know that take showers twice a day, and they're very clean people. That or they like go to the gym and they have to take a second shower. Like let's say hypothetically, but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. The point is, Shala. Did nobody tell you? Like I know you're married. Like I said earlier, I know you're married. Did nobody like tell you that you should probably like take showers every day?
I can't say I picked up on anything like that. No, this is the first time I'm hearing of
Beyond
this.
not taking showers, during this phone call, me and Christopher Zaza were discussing this whole issue within the server. And that issue was that Shala was posting a weird Twitter thread about a Pokemon girl's age, and all these people were arguing about how old this character might be. Weird stuff, weird Earl Doobie-esque stuff. And I don't really have a screen cap to that post. It's just been lost to time. I don't know what happened to it, but it was part of the reason we were talking to Shala in the first place, and the first reason about why we suspected Shala would be like a creep and a cow. She gave off very cow-like behavior and Earl Doobie-like status. It was like a, what was it? It was like a Twitter thread, and
Yeah.
it was
Of one of the characters
from like Pokemon. Yeah, it was like what? It was like people arguing. What was it?
It was basically like the original poster said like, I've always imagined she was like 15 or 16, and then someone retweeted that and said, really, with this language, she's at least pushing 30. And I said, the drawing of her, she does seem rather childish, but then I look at the game footage and like, holy shit, she's actually taller than the character. Like, so like this is awkward. And then I said the fact that she may be older than the old guy next to her is kind of hilarious.
What I'm trying to.
I get it because it seems kind of white Bowsery. I get it. I don't usually look at that kind of stuff. It crossed my feet and like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Well, like, okay, what I'm trying to figure out is like, why did you? I'm sorry, I'm like drunk.
It's fine. Take your time.
Why did you post it on?
I thought it was funny, and I thought other people would find it funny too.
Okay.
Because like, look, she was like, I forget the language she was using, but it was clearly like late 90s, early 2000s, and like you expect me to buy that she's 15 when she's using that kind of language? That's hilarious.
If I may ask, what are your thoughts about this character?
Honestly, I don't think much of her. I mean, I saw some stream where she was in the game, and like, okay, she looks a little mischievous, but I didn't think any more of that. But then this thread comes up like, okay, I understand, and it might be around like, apparently she's like mid-20s at least, but I just thought arguing over age is one thing, but just the reason they gave, like, she talks like a freaking millennial, and that's what I found funny about it.
So after all that talk about taking baths in the certain post that Shala made that was really suspect and got our attention, we went ahead and told Shala to stay off the internet, don't do any of this ridiculous stuff, don't go on panel again, don't go after the trolls again, don't get into trouble, is what we told Shala to do. And we kind of figured out that this person was never really going to change, that Shala was never going to learn her lesson, and she kept on talking about the trolls in various places, her server, my server, to me, to everybody, really. If you talk to Shala long enough, she'll complain about her trolls over on the Kiwi farms. She loves talking about them, guys. But we went on a little trolling campaign, and I introduced her to one Alistair Gladstone. I told her that he was an agent working for me, and half of that was true. He was working for me, but he was able to really wrangle Shala and bother her. He was supposed to be her little PR agent. He was trying to give her advice on what to do and what she should say, and she kind of followed through with that until he started asking and digging up some hard-hitting questions. Hello.
I'm hearing allegations that you're saying that I support pedophilia in anime or something like that?
Who, me? Or who, Alistair?
Alistair said that his employers are saying that I support anime voice actors participating in pedo anime or something. I don't know. Here, let me bring up what he said.
I was told, if I may speak for a moment, ma'am, I was told that there was a Reddit discussing something about this, and you sort of made this devil's advocate position. and were claiming that it's acceptable to do this if you are an adult voicing a child in sort of erotic anime involving underage characters. That's acceptable. Okay. That's what I was told. You said.
All right. Would you mind linking your source, please? Because I'd like to take a look at this.
Yeah. No. I'll let you know. You said his employers. He's employed by a lot of people. Like, I'm not his only employer.
Well, I asked by employers, do you mean Moth? And he clarified, said Moth and Chris Zazel. So
Shala, the only stuff I know about is what you told me about, and I all I know is there was something involving voice actors, and you got pegged.
Yeah.
It was Nate's group?
Nate's group? What? Wait,
wasn't it Nate who accused you of something, or somebody from Nate's group or something? Because I remember them talking a bunch of shit about that too, and I wasn't sure exactly what the context.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, so I don't know who accused me of it, but I went on record on Twitter back like a few months ago saying most anime, the minors in most anime are voiced by grown women, and somehow they, as trolls are wont to do, because trolls don't like that, they like to exacerbate stuff to their own agenda. They probably took that and thought, there always has to be a sexual connotation to the term minor for some reason. Like I'm talking about characters like Gohan from DBZ and stuff. Unless, and I told this to Alistair, unless there's like a scene I'm not aware of where Gohan's sucking as a kid, I don't know what's going on.
Well, I will say that it's unwise to sort of make these hypotheticals in the first place.
Oh yeah, that's why I stopped.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, you probably shouldn't have even put that image in my head, frankly. I'm
sorry. Oh, boy.
You probably don't need to be verbalizing things like this, first of all. It doesn't help your case.
Yeah, I do have a bad habit with hyperboles. I will admit.
So I've noticed.
And like I said, that was a few months ago. And of course, I cut everything with Nate. I don't watch him. The last time I even did anything regarding Nate was when I was told they were doxing my information on stream, and so I went and combed through that stream to see what they were talking about. And luckily, it was just a false alarm, and I didn't even care about what Nate had to say because.
I'm sorry, Shala, but I heard you were trying to actually trap these guys. You said something about trying to trap them to getting your address so that you get your husband's military.
That wasn't Nate. That's Kiwi Farms. I was trying to avoid them, and then James, my husband, he said, if they dox me, I'm a veteran, and that's a federal crime, and. So I said, okay, it's a federal crime. What are you going to do about it? I can literally call up my unit and, have this site subpoenaed. And, I got a bit smug and I went nuclear to sum it up.
I don't know what that means. I don't know, half of what's really going on. So... You went nuclear. You saying you went nuclear? What does that mean?
Yes, that is also a first.
Okay, well, my self-destruction went nuclear. I would say I was trying to bait them into doxing my actual address because they were getting it wrong. I didn't give them any hints. I was just saying you do know it's wrong, right? And but this happened. I'm like, yeah, that happened, but it has nothing to do with me. I was actually interacting with them, which was a big mistake.
You've dug yourself into a very deep
hole. I know.
And I will tell you this. File allegations are some of the hardest to bounce back from. Moth knows this story when we've sort of talked in person. Before I started my own private firm, I was Prince Andrew's butler. And, it was my job to sort of get rid of these allegations of Prince Andrew being a pedophile, being a bloodsucker. I didn't have a very easy time. That was probably the biggest failure in my whole career. And
I see.
Well, Prince Andrew is.
Yeah, he.
Good luck with this. I feel. Here's the thing, Charlotte. Here's the thing. I don't know what you've done. I don't know. I don't know what sort of things you look at. I don't know. You could be completely innocent. You could be Prince Andrew. Not that I'm admitting any guilt on his end, but if people are under the impression that you've done this, their mind is already made up. Lots of people, they already have their mind made up about you. Okay, and but there is no way you are going to change their mind. You don't need to reach out to these people. They are convinced. They are completely and fully convinced, madame. And there is the best thing you can do for yourself.
So overall, this entire troll was just to see if Shala would listen to a PR person like Alistair Gladstone. You can hear him talking about helping Prince Andrew, like trying to help him out of a situation. Really high up is Alistair Gladstone, and Shala's taking that for granted. And Shala thought that this was all coming out of my pocket. And in a way it was. It was some amount of effort and actual honesty that was in the buddy trolling. There was some effort, and did Shala listen to that effort? No, she didn't. These trolls that are messing with her, she went back to them. And that she has back and forths with the Kiwi farmers. And she's very much on their radar. They keep a pretty good eye on her and everything that she does. And it's something else with what they have on her. There's so much dirt over there on the Kiwi farms on Shala. And at the time we were messing with Shala, we didn't really go to the Kiwi farms that much. We sort of saw glimpses of it that Shala was showing us. We didn't really have the full story. We had it from Shala's side, but not the Kiwi farmers' side. And you could probably say that's our fault for not researching more thoroughly on this person beforehand, but we did eventually look into Kiwi farms and find out all of this weird stuff that Shala was doing. Shala has a variety of weird tweets and posting strange pictures. One that you'll see really soon later in this documentary, where Shala posted a picture of a boy and her sister, and it's like really weird positioning on both ends. Gross stuff, really. Gross, nasty stuff. And Shala thought it was funny. It's so bizarre. Shala thought this weird, inappropriate image was funny. And I just have no idea what even to say about it, but you'll see it very soon. And, we tried to tell her to stop going over to the Kiwi farms for a while. It's been at least like 2 months we were telling her to get off the Kiwi farms. Like, this is ridiculous. But, she didn't listen. So it's true that you're, like, talking to these people on like, the Reddits or something?
On the Kiwi forums, yes.
Oh. Like,
because there was a file that was being exposed, and this file had previously threatened me, and I went to go jump in and give them my side, and that was very stupid of me. I will admit that was very stupid.
Well, okay, so wait. You said on your side. So wait a minute.
I'm sorry. What? What do you mean on my side?
You just. I'm repeating what you said, making sure I understood you correctly.
Okay, so file they just exposed on there Gordon Pale. They were listing his aliases, and it was like, oh my god, this is the guy who was stalking me and threatening to harm me a few months ago. And so I thought, well, initially I took screenshots to show my friend on Twitter, and then we were giggling over it, and then I was made aware that they actually focused on me because I took screenshots, and then it just unraveled from there, and I went headfirst into the poo.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Her Majesty the Queen has a wonderful saying I've learned as spending my time with her. If you get stuck on the toilet once, shame on the castle. If you get stuck on the toilet twice, shame on Her Majesty. And let's just say this, it seems like you've been stuck on the toilet more than twice. And yeah. You've been redirected so many times. So many people besides me have told you, you don't need to be on these sites. You don't need to be interacting with. I don't understand what compels you, truthfully.
Well, Shala,
I originally was not going to do anything, but it's the guy who threatened me. I really wanted. I wanted him to face the music, but unfortunately, they started focusing on me more, and I was just sitting there like, I just fucked up big time. Huh? My life is going to be ruined for the next several months.
All in all, Shala's entire plan with the kiwi farms and how she was going to fight them. I know it's a lot of phone calls that we're looking over, and this is not one of my usual videos that I make, but I just wanted to document all these things that we did here. Shala wanted to get rid of the kiwi farms people by having her and her husband doxxed because he's a military veteran, and apparently that's like a crime, because that's totally going to work out very well in your favor, Shala. You're going to be doxing yourself for these kiwi farms people? Okay, all right, sure, that makes a whole lot of sense. And it wasn't until a month later that Shala get introduced to Glaceon, the decoy that we were using to become a catfish for Shala. And Shala took it hook, line, and sinker. She didn't care that she was talking to the 16-year-old. She didn't care that, friends were telling her not to talk to the 16-year-old. And as lolcow fashion may hold, Shala never listened to these people and failed to learn anything out of it. The next major thing that we found out about Shala is her feelings about lolicons and anime children, and how she thinks that it's okay for people to be lolicons, for people to be like Earl Doobie, the White Bowser, and that these people are just fine, dandy people. And you hear it from the horse's mouth. And there's also this other character that I need to introduce you guys to, named Adam Carolla, in which we were able to convince Shala that we had the real Adam Carolla, the voice actor and comedian who is a multi-million-dollar man, is on Discord talking to a VTuber, a 16-year-old, and some other guy named Christopher Zazel. It's just like, no, Adam Carolla would not be hanging out on Discord with these individuals. He'd be more likely drinking wine, sitting up there with the other rich folk. That's my best guess anyway. But Shala believed that we had Adam Carolla.
What they do is they dig up my info, whether it be correct or not, and then they make a narrative about me that's just very biased in their favor, and it's usually not at all what my life is like.
Why did they go after you in the first place, babe? Like, what drew them to you and your username?
Here's the thing. So all right. So I was on, I've been on Twitter for a while. Up until recently, I just closed it. But I've been off it for a month now. When I was on Twitter, there was this guy named who went by Gentark House, who was like telling people to like harm me and stuff, and he would stalk me everywhere. And I had my friend.
Is that the Gordon guy? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay. Okay, my bad.
Right, so I one of my friends who keeps her nose in this drama. I don't know what she sees in it. Maybe it's entertaining. She one day tweets out like, "Oh, Gordon got on the farms. Gordon got on the farms," and like, Gordon. And so I go to the kiwi farms to check it out. I start reading on him. I found out one of his Twitter handles is the one that's been stalking me. Like, holy shit, this is the guy who's been stalking me. And then I read more, and like how he's getting absolutely grilled in the comments. And like one of these trolls, I guess they're British because they called him a nonce. Like, you're acting like a big nonce right now. And he said, well, I guess I'm a nonce. And one of the people in the thread, Osama bin Laden, says, do you realize that is the absolute worst thing you could have said on the site? And, from there, he just got his own thread and stuff. And, like, I screenshot him admitting to it. And I was showing Ari this, and then they found my tweet and showed a screenshot of the tweet saying, hello, Shala. And from there, like, it just went downhill. Like, oh, Now, I stupidly interacted on my existing account. I put, like, when you're on the Kiwi Farms, it would be safe to have a persona that's a lot, like, very unlike who you actually are. And most of them, they're racist, they're homophobes and stuff, and they throw around slurs like it's nothing. And so I did the same because I didn't want to draw attention to the fact that I was her, like, when Gordon was spilling all his info, I said, like, refute in court, we're done, or something like that. And so when they made my thread, they said, I don't like black people calling because I call another locale, who happens to be white, by the way, the N-word. Like, and so they keep bringing that up, like, oh, your fellow trannies won't like you being racist, and I'm thinking, yeah, well, that's, like I said, I use that language and that attitude because I didn't want to appear similar to how I acted normally, because this is the Kiwi Farms. I have to have, like, a tough attitude and be a hateful asshole, or at least appear to be, so that they don't draw connections to your actual life. So of course they're gonna take that out of context and think I hate all black people now. Not like that,
right. So,
yeah, half of my information they gathered on me is inaccurate. They've roped in other people they think are me but aren't, and they can't even get my current photo correct. I mean, I'm not gonna correct them on anything because that would only serve to harm me. But it's
right. So, in other words, they did all this really terrible shit to you. And, they're getting away with it, but, you use a racial slur one time and, like, everybody dogpiles you.
Yeah, now, I did do something monumentally stupid. See, when they were going after Gordon, I asked, well, are we going to call the cops on this guy or something? No, we just document. We do not touch the cow. We do not cow tip, which is, we don't touch the poo, as Chris would put it. And I said, and so I asked, like, what happens if I do? And they said, well, it's a bannable offense. So I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna get my account banned because, like, why would I want an account on Kiwi Farms? And so I pretend like on my Twitter, I start posting, like, well, my name on there is Harvey Denthead, a play on Two-Face, with a bit of a jab at autism, because, like, that's just the theme of their website. So I tweet out, like, hey, Harvey, if you're gonna call my mom, make sure not to say, like, make sure not to put out that Harvey sends his regards, and then so they dogpile on my account, and I'm just watching, like, okay, this is what they do.
If I can ask a question, because you're giving me a lot. You are Harvey Denthead, I guess.
That's my name
on Fruit Farms. But you're responding to yourself on Twitter, I am guessing, as yourself. So why are you kind of getting into these arguments with yourself across
I wanted to see,
two completely different platforms?
Well, see, initially they were like, hey, Shala, come join the farms. Don't forget to spill every intimate detail of your life on here. And I refused to do that, but I decided, like, to respond on Twitter reacting to this, which is not a good thing, and I've stopped doing it since.
Okay, but then why did you respond to the account that you created specifically?
Well,
I mean, that would be like if I, on the Adam Carolla show, was shitting on the Loveline show as if both of them aren't my show.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I want to see what they would do to my account if by cow tipping myself to say, and sure enough, they dogpiled on it. Okay, experiment's over, but I should probably keep going a bit further so they don't suspect anything. And one thing led to another. They found out I was Harvey Denthead, and things got worse. And like I'm kicking myself over having done that. Like all that just to see what they would do to cow tippers, even if it was to myself, because like I would never involve other people. But they think I would just try to pull one over on them, which to an extent was correct, but I just wanted to see like what they would do to a cow tipper, and I thought I'm not going to tip any other cows. I'm going to tip myself just to be safe. But that was very stupid of me to do.
Well, I'm not really sure I get your logic, but it sounds like your understanding now. It was pretty illogical yourself.
Yeah, we've all done stupid things, but we grow wiser from such stupid things.
Sure, yeah. Some of us do. But yeah, that was one thing I wanted to ask about, because I saw a lot of stuff on there. Like, and look, I had my conversation with you. You seem reasonable to me. So, don't think that I'm like attacking you, really. I want to hear your side of the story. I like to stand up for the little guy when I can, especially, with all of this like woke crap where people are kind of just getting like censored for no reason.
I know. And, I welcome criticism, and, it can only help me become a better person. That's how I see it.
Well, there's criticism, and then there's harassment, right?
Yeah,
and I'm just,
I mean,
I'm hoping that's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming from a good place, and so of course I'm going to listen to you. I mean, these people, they've quote unquote criticized me, but it's all to move the goalpost and just make me look like a laughing stock, and so that's why I'm not paying attention to them anymore or giving them the time of day.
Right. So I kind of jotted down the things that I thought were, I just wanted to address them. If we were going to talk about it. So the Kiwi Farms people are saying that you have like a porn addiction.
Yeah.
Like, what are you looking at?
Well, here's the thing. I do look at porn, but the thing is, they will take.
What is it? Is it farts? Is it feet? What is it?
It's hentai.
Oh, yeah, we talked about hentai last time. Yeah.
So I'm like, my libido is pretty much on the back burner. I only look at it once in a blue moon, but they will take that instance and make it and globalize it to where I'm obsessed with it. That's what they do. Like, they will take the worst aspects of someone, no matter how small it is, and they will blow it up to make it seem like the person's whole life revolves around it. That's what they do.
Right. They don't have like pictures of your browser history or anything, so I'm assuming that you're innocent. But they were saying it a lot. So yeah, I kind of wanted to hear your side of that.
Yeah, their narrative is that all trans people are just addicted people who go after children and stuff, and like they want to paint me in such a regard that it fits in with their narrative. That's what they do to. They're doing it with other people too. Like my friend Marie, I've told her like watch out on the forums. They're targeting you, but she keeps on giving them. Defending herself on there, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's your funeral, and now they're accusing her of being a I'm like, yep, that's the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saw that you have like a lot of names you're going by on here, I guess. So that secret's out. Not that that's really a big deal. But
yeah, there is one thing I actually. This was back in like 2017, back before the whole pedojacking movement came.
I actually believe the screenshot here. One's from July 7th, 2019, and one is October
2019.
5th,
Okay, well,
2018.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, guys. Where is that screenshot that I could find? I'm sorry, Shala. I'm just trying to keep.
All right, let me save it and post it in chat.
Okay, thank you.
So
yeah, I've got them.
There's a story behind these. So these are both from a game called Tales of Berseria, and one of my favorite games at the time. One day I came across a like someone. Oh, you got it. Okay. So one day I came across like a cheat engine script to like be able.
Fuck?
Give me a break. I'm trying to explain it. So one day I came across a cheat engine script to mod the game and model swap, and in these two screenshots, like one of them, like this character has an older sister, and in the first screenshot, she's cuddling him. In the second screenshot, she's she's feeling his forehead for a fever, and so.
Alright, color me crazy. That does not look like she's feeling his forehead for a fever.
I was getting to that. Yeah, I'm getting to that. So, like I liked with this character, and I identify with him. Like as a sort of cope after my doctors tried this scare tactic me out of like transitioning, and I thought, you know what, maybe I just identify as an internal like child just wanting attention, and so like this is just a Facebook page, like me masquerading this character, and so I model spot off the bigger sister, and when I play the game and see the cutscenes, I'm like, oh my god, it looks like this, and I'm like, why the heck does it look like that? And I screenshot it. I showed it to a few people, like, yeah, because like the height difference, instead of like crouching down and feel his forehead, it looks like the model swap is like flating himself, and I'm like, and the term pedophile wasn't like thrown around as much as it was back then, so I posted it up like thinking it was really funny, like, and I thought, like, man, I can't get anywhere or something like it was a seemingly harmless joke at the time, like oh, this is just silly stuff, and I actually cracked up laughing when I actually saw this in game. I had to screenshot it, and but of course I moved on since, and I left that page to stagnate. But when they dug it up, I'm like, oh crap, yeah, I can see why they look at this font, and I went to like remove it right away, because like, why would I want that biting me in the ass?
Yeah.
So
I mean, there was a lot there, and if I'm going to be honest, I didn't really grasp all of it, but if I kind of understand the situation correctly, I mean, I don't know. I think you'll agree with me now that this looks a little bad. But,
yeah, it looks very bad. But at the time, like, this was like before the pedo squad of the pedo defense squad of Twitter was a thing.
Well, maybe there's some truth that people are a little more eager to levy these accusations now than they were back then. But even before that, I mean, you understand how, you just see this kind of silhouette. You don't even really need to see the people, and you immediately kind of...
Yeah.
And then you factor in how small they are.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like I wasn't using my whole brain. I just thought, ooh, funny, must share.
Can I ask how old you were when you did this? Because I mean, sometimes people are just young and they make a mistake.
I was about 31. Yeah, that's rather recent, I will admit, but at the same time, I've done a lot growing up. I've thought a lot more with discretion lately. Chris in no small part was a big factor in like having me just look things over and think, do I really want to post this kind of thing?
Oh, well, you know, I think Chris has a lot together.
Yeah, he's a real good guy, and
oh, you guys,
yeah, and like I understand, like again, I know this looks bad, but yeah, like I don't think back to it, like I must have been thinking, "Who funny? Must share because this looks funny," and not and it's only now that I'm realizing, yeah, well, not even now. Just like when I got outed, I like, oh, I know what. I know why they're looking at this, and yeah, that's bad. And I want to dump the page because I don't because this isn't my mindset anymore, and I don't want anyone else come after me with the same allegations.
Right. Well, I'm not going to be like the grand interrogator for too long. I'm just kind of trying to figure this out because, like, I'm on your side for the record.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people get kind of canceled and shut down for some really stupid bullshit. And I mean, there's a good chance that everything you're saying is 100% true. And I like to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I have no reason to lie to you. And a lie only comes back to circle around and bite you in the ass sooner or later. So why even do it?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely get behind that. So what was this? I kind of took note of it, but I don't really. What was this? This is from 2018, so March 14th. My other nephew, that's his birthday actually.
March 14th.
Yeah, so this was happening, I believe, around the same time, a little bit after this suck my own dick image.
Oh god, yeah.
This is from Storytime Pals, and it says,
yeah.
Our new stories are out.
Yeah. So my friend, actually, remember the game I was talking about? I actually befriended one of the voice actors from that game because she was up and coming, and we formed a friendship. And then I later find out she runs this YouTube name called Storytime Pals. And I thought, hey, this is good. And so they said, follow us on Twitter. So I look at Twitter completely blank. So like, hey, do you need a social media manager for your Twitter and stuff? Because this was a good idea she had, and I want to help her with this cause. And this wouldn't be interacting with children. Most likely their parents at most if they replied to the tweets. And then I later found this out, like, oh, looks like it has its first tweets today. Okay, you got this handled. And that was the end of it.
Right. Have you ever considered working with children or like having children? Do you like kids? Like what?
Well, kind of like I know when I was in my early 20s, I was watching this show called The Principal's Office, and one of the principals on the show I actually reached out to and discussed the show with, and we kind of formed an acquaintanceship. And I said, I'm looking at what these teachers do, like aside from dealing with the student shenanigans, and they look like they have really good passion for what they do. And this was like when I was almost fresh out of high school myself, so I thought maybe I should become a teacher because I love to teach people how to code, and teenagers aren't so bad that they're not like screaming toddlers, for instance. That maybe they'll have some reason, and I can actually teach them life skills.
Right.
Yeah, and so and then I said, I'm also transgender. I want to transition to be a woman, and like that is that a problem? And he said, no, yeah, as long as you can do the job, like that's what counts. This was 2008, by the way, far before the LGBT movement was as big as it was. So,
do you have more to say, or should I go on to the next thing? I'm almost done.
I think that's it as far as I have to say for that.
Okay, because this one is from 2024, and I think I understand your point. I just, I want to hear things come from the horse's mouth. So
you mean June 22nd, 2024? That one?
Yeah. It says Loli, I don't know, is not my thing. I don't even know what that is.
That's my birthday.
I used to speak out as long as real kids aren't harmed, but then I saw that most of, if not all, people who are into this stuff are actually predators.
That's basically what I said earlier. Is that I used to like say, as long as it's not hurting people, go for it. But then I saw that the people into this were moved on to actual kids and like, oh dear, that's why I don't advocate for it anymore or support it anymore, because they actually do move on to actual kids, and so I'm putting my mouth over that, like I said.
Yeah.
And so this is pretty much.
So my question is, if this stuff, which I looked up lowly. I think I'm gonna have to clear my browser history. I just wanted a definition.
Yeah, but, no problem.
But this sounds pretty bad from what I'm reading about it.
On
the Urban Dictionary. And
yeah. I thought you meant my post. Like
no. Okay. I mean, I'll say this. And I have a question for you that I guess is just kind of like an ethical question.
Sure.
If people were looking at this stuff and you knew it was verifiable that they were never going to harm a child, like a real child physically, but they were still looking at this stuff, how would you respond to that?
Well, I know how I respond, but you might not like it. But again, if they're not harming real people, who cares what they're doing in their private time, and like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
So there's a lot to really be discussed at this point. Between Haley Cantaloupe Cakes, Christopher Zazel, and Adam Carolla, and Lady Glaceon talking to Shala, this entire operation was going swimmingly for us. Shala kept talking to Glaceon, didn't stop talking. Shala had some doubts that Glaceon was a real person at some point, and that's a very minor detail to really consider. This happened at one point where she kind of considered whether Glaceon was a catfish or not, but eventually Zazel told him, no, it's a real 16-year-old, and Shala kept talking to her anyway. And honestly, you should hope that it's not a real 16-year-old Shala, because you were kissing her on the cheek, you were cuddling her, you were doing all this weird stuff with her. You tried to buy her a video game, one Chrono Trigger, that is. And after all this weird stuff was going down with several different phone calls and discussions and being bothered by this whole situation, I decided to finally end it and confront Shala just like how she deserved.
Oh, Shala, honey.
Okay, who's talking?
Maybe a little good old Zoe Taylor. Maybe you kissing up on a 16-year-old being weird for like 3 months.
Kissing up to her?
You know what, Shala, I want you to understand that Zoe Taylor was never a real person. And, the fact that you let a 16-year-old in your Discord server, and you spoke to her for 3 months. By the way, if you don't know who this is your good buddy
Moth.
Styled Moth. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I know.
I've been I've been looking into you, Bucko, and I've seen a lot of things. You've told me a lot of things. I think it's really inappropriate for you to say good night, kiss you on the cheek to a 16-year-old who lives in Georgia.
Okay, first of all, I was never sexual. That was
bull. You sent me half-naked photos of your VTube avatar, not just once, but multiple times. Also, if you're lying about anything, I have it all on recording. I recorded all of our DMs. I recorded all of that shit. I have like 100 screenshots. If you want to challenge me, you can do that, Bucko.
Oh.
And
I mean, I'd like to see it. Yeah, that's that.
Let me post in your Discord server. I'll post it right the now. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm fucking.
All right.
What's going on?
I'm sick.
I'm confused too. Like, yeah, guys,
your
buddy
Shala is sick. She's been talking to this 16-year-old that she just welcomed in the server, and if you look in chat, this is what she's sending the 16-year-old.
All right. Let me see it. Let me see it then.
You were calling her beautiful. You were trying to buy her video games. You were calling. It's like all of this great stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Just all this beautiful stuff, all this great gander. You know, it's disappointing. It's disappointing, Shala, that you couldn't listen to me. You couldn't listen to Zazel. You couldn't listen to anybody. You abandoned your best friend for a 16-year-old girl. Haley Cantaloupe Cakes, you know who that is, told you to stop talking to a 16-year-old. And what did you do?
I'm probably going to have to
guys, guys, I'm sorry. Let's just reconvene later. I need to
on a 16-year-old girl. You disgust me. I've seen so much shit out of you. You cannot say that you didn't do all that stuff, because you did. I was there for all of it. I was there every second, Shala. And you just up really hard, man. And, you have no excuse for getting a girl, a 16-year-old girl, to call you mommy whenever you know that's a kink that you have.
Are you done psychoanalyzing me?
I want you to do one thing for me, and I won't make a video about you with everything I documented. I want you to bring Adam. I want you to bring Adam Carolla into this group call. I want you, Uncle Adam needs to get in this group call.
He's free to join right now. He's free to join.
Because Shala, you had a chance. You had an out, and you didn't take it. Why did you? I got a question. A genuine question.
Yes?
Why didn't you listen to Haley?
Because my again, I really thought this now make-believe kid was very troubled, and I didn't know what to do, and she needs me. I want to protect this kid. Obviously, that butt picture you showed me, again, that was merely from, you can call on me, I know you will, but that was from an artistic standpoint. All right.
Hello, Adam.
All right. What is this, Chris? Why do you want me on this call so bad?
Well, to be honest, Uncle, Moth was doing that thing. Remember when he was telling us about how he had some suspicions regarding a specific blue-haired elf? Well, he wasn't wrong.
Hold on. You're gonna have to walk it back. What?
Adam Carolla, she's been. If you look in the chat, you can see some really wild screenshots of which I also recorded all, or at least most of the messages too. So like,
which chat? There's like a million of these channels.
You go to the upper right and you press the speech bubble, and that should open the chat for you, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Shala.
Yes?
Why are you sending pictures of your VTuber's ass to what you thought was a 16-year-old?
You did what?
Because, I wanted an artistic standpoint. I was like, there was more,
artistic?
But obviously, yeah, there was more detail to it, but I'm like, oh, I'm not going to send this to a 16-year-old. And I just want, there's a, check out the detail on this, is what I was basically asking.
Okay. Okay, hold on.
Christ. I'm gonna be sick.
I want to stop you right there, Shala.
Okay. All right.
Let me ask you this. So, like, you know, I know it's like a character's ass, and like you think that's okay because
hold that thought. My I need to switch my earbuds because they're low on battery. Give me a sec. Let me okay, so all right, should be good.
And Shala, I want you to know that I read through all your kiwi farms, and you have a fetish, and you can't deny this because it's documented. You have a fetish to be being called mommy. Why?
What? Oh God.
Why were you having a 16-year-old girl call you mommy and wanted her to call you mom? And why did you let that happen?
It's there in the chat because she doesn't have a mom, and let me tell you that it felt like I was really helping this girl, and if she wanted to call me mom, like that felt like
Right. So let me get this straight. Being called mommy by adult men, that sexually arouses you.
No.
But with this child on the internet, I've seen everything. I have a hard time kind of believing this denial. I logically sound. Great stuff.
Adam also read the Kiwi Farms a little, and we've been discussing this for a while, even before the inception of Zoe Taylor. You know, we were talking about this because we were looking through the Kiwi Farm, Shala, and we saw a lot of weird stuff. I believe you. I can't remember the one moment, but and this did happen. I'm 99% sure that this happened. If you didn't, then you're innocent of it. But I'm like 90% sure that at some point during our phone calls, you defend lolicons.
Dude, what?
I'm like 90%. I'm like 90% sure that you did that. I can find it somewhere because all of our phone calls were recorded.
I mean, there's a that is probable.
That's
I
probable.
came across.
Shala, are you or are you
I'm not denying it. I'm saying it's probable, but it's just I'm saying I'm not denying it, but I'm saying it's not. I remember
why would you in your right mind? You know.
That's let Shala speak for herself.
Look, all I'm gonna say is I'm looking through these messages right now, and I
didn't say they're messages. I can see. I said they're voice calls. I recorded. I recorded me scrolling through all of our messages between Zoe and you, and Zoe straight up told you that she was 16 and you didn't block her. Instead, you spoke to her. And you abandoned Haley. You know how hurt Haley was when you chose a 16-year-old over her? That you wouldn't listen to Haley? Do you know how hurt she was? Do you care about how Haley feels?
Of course I do, but I also care that this Zoe opened up to me, and she seemed like discussed her problems to me, and I was like, Oh man, if I
Shala. She was 16 years old. It doesn't matter the problem. The moment they say that they're a minor, that's when you end the conversation, regardless of whatever situation you think they're in. That's what an adult does.
So I'm supposed to let a 16-year-old possibly commit.
She never.
Okay. If they did say that, you send them the fucking hotline number, and then you end contact.
Yeah, and
okay?
first of all,
let's not get into fucking semantics here. And by the way, I do have a question for you. How fucking started were you to believe I was the real fucking Adam Carolla? You had it hook, line, and sinker. Don't fucking bullshit me. You're a fucking moron. Come on. Hey.
Well,
honestly, you did have me.
Did so? This is just like you can't even begin to comprehend why anything you did was wrong. And I don't know. I still think you deserve the blowback because, like, look at you. This is pathetic, man.
No. I made an agreement with Shala, and
Can I ask a question though? Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Shala, you and I, we've been friends for quite a while, and I was under the impression you understood the kind of content that we pay attention to, and we've gone over a lot of things, but I had no idea about the minor stuff. It just makes me wonder, was Zoe the first minor you've spoke with since being an adult, or has this been an ongoing thing? Were there others before her?
You better be
Just
honest.
It's a good question. That's a good question.
Just one.
Was it Zoe?
I said there was one before Zoe, but yeah.
Well, do tell.
Well, this was with a there was a VTuber named Alara, and she had this this kid did want to call me mom, so and so again I allowed it, and I forget his name is, I think it Mochi that was his name, part of Alara's community, and back when the whole February 2023 stuff happened, I think he had me blocked along with the Alara because they thought I was like stealing someone's work, something like that. That's when he stopped talking to me, and I looked at the block. I was like, what, the allegations are false, but you know what? Fair enough. Like, but yeah. Before that, I don't know anyone else.
Okay. So there was one other kid in the past, and did they call you mom also?
Yeah, they were 17 going on 18, so it's not as
okay. And how old were you when you encountered this 17-year-old?
I was 34 to 35.
Okay. How did you interact with this 17-year-old?
I was kind to him. This is going back, I think, 2 years. So I would say, like, I was kind to him. I gave him hugs and stuff.
Okay.
Like,
all
right.
Yeah.
None of this is like, that kind of feeling you get when, like, there's a homeless man asking for food and you give him food and you walk away feeling good about yourself. This is what that is. Like, you can all bullshit. It's pretty much like you don't believe what I'm talking about. So, you know what? I don't like. I can't change your mind or for you to believe what you want to believe. But
okay.
I'm just.
Well, we have a lot of questions.
That was so fucking bullshit. I'm not even gonna humor that.
See.
Wow.
Well, let's take a step back. Let's take a step back before things go haywire. I want all my questions to be answered, and I want to uncover all of this. Okay, so first question.
Sure.
Do you have a kink for being called mommy because of the reason I ask this is because of the ASMRs that you've done.
No, I do not. I have it makes me feel good, but I'm not like getting turned on by it.
Okay, then why did you do the ASMR?
ASMR, like with who? Zoe? I never did ASMR with
It's
Zoe.
on the farms.
Dude.
Oh, the farms stuff. Like I did that with another adult.
That doesn't matter. Do you
Doesn't answer
not
the question?
Do you not like being called mommy because of this? Like, why did you make it?
Oh well, like for a time until I got docs, I was thinking of LuTubing and like, hey, my character kind of has some mommy energy, so I'm gonna roll with that. So
okay, all right. So then,
I decided to like base my ASMR around that.
Okay, I have a question about Schala Zeal from Chrono Trigger. Haley, she first of all, I'm upset because you hurt Haley's feelings.
I know,
No. You don't get to give me a second.
Okay.
Because you pissed me off. She was the nicest person that you had, and you dropped her like a fucking dime. Like she tried to help you. Do you not get that? Do you not understand? Like Haley cried on camera, in front of us, and you just didn't care. You abandoned her, and now she has a lot cooler friends like us. And I wonder, do you even feel bad about doing that? Like, because that's my
I'll
friend.
be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. At the time, no, I didn't like what was going through my head was like, I'm trying to help this kid because she's in such a bad position. Like how dare Haley, try to like cut her off for me. Like she could hurt herself, because of that.
Okay. Well, why did you think Zoe would ever hurt herself? She never mentioned it. She
Because
mentioned being lonely and depressed, and that was it.
Yeah, well, I've been lonely and depressed, and at one point I actually considered it. I wouldn't do it nowadays, but like when I was younger, I did consider it, even though I didn't say anything. It just like my energy. I was feeling that energy from her, through like her implied text messages, is this king and me okay? There was just the nurturing part of me. Like, yeah, you can call it bullshit if you want, because I was compassionate, and I'm like, hey, I just want her to be okay. So
I want to know, why do you not have sex with your husband?
Because I'm not gay. I don't like having. I don't like being in a guy's body.
Then why did you marry him?
We're engaged. We're not married. I use the term husband interchangeably with fiance and stuff.
But then why you guys engaged? Like, you do understand that, like,
doesn't make it.
It kind of does.
Well, that's unfortunate that you think that way.
First of all, Shala, don't kid me when I say this. You're
What?
not. You are a very sexual person. Like, you are extremely sexual. Like astronomically sexual. There's no way that you don't consider cheating on your husband, because you kind of implied it in our text messages. Like, why are you telling this to a 16-year-old? Why you
cheat on my husband with her? What is that what you were trying to imply here?
You were implying it. You were talking about needs that weren't being met.
Needs? Could you show me the messages? Because this isn't news to me. All right.
Schala seems to have a lack of memory whenever it comes to a lot of things, or maybe it's just pleading ignorance to a lot of this stuff and trying to hide it under the rug and claim that it never happened or pretend like it never happened. I'm not really sure which one of those two things are, whether she forgot or whether she's trying to deny it. I'm not really sure, but all in all, we go over a bunch of screenshots here and there. We start talking and I ask a bunch of questions, and we're going to be skipping over a lot of that and getting into the hard-hitting questions that I think most people care about whenever it came to Shala. Because essentially it takes us to discuss her husband or her fiancé, of which is a very strange relationship between the two of them. Shala has told us a lot about her husband, like how the two don't get intimate, they don't kiss, they don't really touch each other at all, really, which is really bizarre in my opinion, you know. But if you don't want to have any kind of engagement or intimacy with your partner, then, you know, that's your own business. But don't be surprised whenever other people think that's kind of weird, you know, that's kind of odd. You're supposed to do intimacy with your partners, you know, you're supposed to do that. And Shala here thinks that it's just normal, I guess. I don't know, to marry a man whenever you're not a homosexual. I don't really understand that part. It's kind of almost parodic in a way. But, you know, all in all, Shala has a very odd relationship with her husband. She's told us that he smells and that she sleeps in a separate bedroom from him. All kinds of oddities in this relationship. But let's dig into it.
You know, you have a laundry basket of stuff going on, and you know, just all of it looks really bad. And you know, I get it. You're kind of like,
I know,
you're kind of like bumbling around and you're making mistakes left and right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. And
okay. So
I am. I won't deny that.
Okay. So let me get this straight. So you think if the FBI were investigating you, again, I can't stress this enough about how important this question is, but if it was the FBI instead of me, you think that you would have gone to prison? You said yes earlier.
Yes, I mean, I think there are, yeah, I think, like I said, you know, they might catch me with something.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't have to. Sorry, Haley.
I can't hear her.
I had a turn. I apologize, guys.
Oh,
I
it's
was
okay.
just saying, like, what would they catch you with? Like,
that's a good question. What would they catch you with?
Not being an FBI agent. Not being an FBI agent, I wouldn't know. Maybe there's some underlying rule I'm not privy to. But as far as I know, like I again, a few slip ups aside that, you know, you blaringly pointed out, is like I have tried my best to like, you know, this is a vulnerable kid. And you know, despite Haley's warnings, I'm like, you know what, I just want to make sure this kid's okay. Like Haley can scream at me later.
Was also a retarded middle-aged.
You cut out.
Yeah, he did. You okay?
Like, Shala, you always made it seem to me like you never wanted to talk to minors. You wanted nothing to do with minors, and that's what hurts so much to me. Like, to see that you're talking to
maybe.
Yeah, like, baby, you said you had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, and to an extent that was true, but then Lady Glaceon came, and initially we were just friends, but then I did the wrong thing by showing compassion to. All right,
hold on. Let Shala speak her piece. I want to see the innocence.
You're right. I'll mute.
All right. So, like, I'm compassionate to a fault, and like a big fault at that. I was afraid what would happen to Zoe. I was on the verge of tears at some point. And you know, when you were like, when Haley was telling me, like, you know, she's 16 though. She's 16 though. Like I was actually like on the verge of tears. Like, but you know, she needs help. She needs help. And like in retro, now that you explained it, you're like, yeah, obviously.
I want to take a step back and put this in a little bit of perspective. let's say hypothetically we knew someone who was talking to a 16-year-old, and this person was, I don't know, a 45-year-old man. You know, he's a bit older than you, but still, it's near the same age
Yeah, I get
bracket.
it.
He's
get it.
45 years old, talking to a 16-year-old, and he's saying things like kiss cheek, hugs, I love you to 16, and she's calling him daddy. Doesn't that kind of raise some, because like it's just gender swapped. Instead of dad or mom, I mean, instead of dad, it's mom. Like
I see your point. Yes.
this, Shala,
I'm gonna plead retaliation on that. Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
so
I
if he
know.
was if he was retarded, would that make it okay?
No, I mean I'm like no. I mean
I'll say it again. Ed Gain was also retarded.
I know. I'm not excusing myself. I like I'm stupid. I'm conceding to the point because like I'm stupid. Like that doesn't excuse me of any accountability here. I'll say that much. But like you want me to justify it or explain myself, and when I say retardation, that's not like, look, I did this, I did this, but here's my retardation card. Let me get out of jail free. No. Obviously, if I fuck up, then I need to be held accountable. I'm just saying, as far as explanation goes. Now you're finding holes in my explanations. Like, okay, well, you know what? I didn't know that before, and you know, all right.
one thing, actually, it's not even a question. I want you to do this. I will almost demand it if it's not satisfactory.
Okay.
I want you to apologize to Haley.
Haley, you were right. I should have known better in retrospect. Despite what I perceived of quote unquote Zoe at the time, I know now that you know, continuing to like interact with her was pathetic of me to have done. Probably not the right word to use, but it's what came to mind. But what I will say is I apologize that I didn't make a smart decision and listen to you, because you were my friend above all else, and I should have listened to you over a 16-year-old.
Haley, how do you feel about that?
Thank you, Moth. I just wanted to say thank you, Shala. I appreciate that. But I am very hurt. Like me and you, dude. Me and you we got so close. And when I found out that you were talking to a fucking minor, even though you swore you would never fucking talk to minors, that you wanted nothing to do with them, and just like, I feel so hurt. I do, because that was bullshit. You did it. You talked to her. You felt like you were, you know, her motherly figure or something. Yeah. I don't know, but it hurt me. Shala, we were such good friends.
You know what?
No, you're gonna let her speak.
Okay, all right.
She is the one who's hurt.
Got it.
All right.
I mean, no, sorry guys. I'll go on forever and ever. That was pretty much it, though.
Okay.
Like, I just feel really hurt.
Yeah, I will say though, regardless of what happens, come Monday when I see my therapist, I'm going to let him know all this, what I've been doing, and what I can do.
Okay.
Like I'll be honest right now.
No, it's okay. Don't get upset, babe. It's all right. Calm down, and we can talk. But we just want answers.
Yeah,
I know I do. I want answers.
Let's try and be friends.
Gonna cut in and go ahead and put this piece out there. Shala here is making the excuse that the reason that all of this was going down, the reason that she was talking with the 16-year-old Zoe Taylor, was because she was stupid. And obviously, you know, that doesn't have anything to do with what she was doing. I don't think I gotta tell you that someone who is mentally disabled is not necessarily a PDF file. I don't think I gotta tell anybody that one. But Shala seems to think that's a really good thing to say, that this is just about regardation and being regarded and not being smart, and that's why she did all this weird stuff with the 16-year-old. And, obviously that's not right. That's not right whatsoever. But eventually I do get to do some things with good old Shala. I persuaded her into giving an apology to Haley because she was the one genuine friend that Shala had, and Shala just sort of threw her out like a windbag or something.
Okay, let's slow down a little. I just want to know, what else do I want to know about you? I've been thinking about, I've been psychotically fixated on you for a while, and
I can see why. Yeah, I can see why.
I want. You see why? Okay.
Well, I mean, now that you're explaining it, like, wow, okay, yeah, now I see why.
Okay, my next question, and I want you to be honest, 1,000% with this question, because I am dreadfully curious about this one.
I've tried being honest, but yeah, it's just
Don't stress it. Don't stress it.
Okay, all right.
Whenever I sent you those pictures of Zoe Taylor, and you said that she was cute, did you find her attractive?
Not at all. I approached it the way a parent would, like, oh yeah, you look nice, honey, or that kind of stuff. Like I want to, like, because again, you gotta keep in mind this was a like a very depressed teenager, like at risk, and I wanted to, yeah, I thought a compliment from me would make her day.
Why did you let her send more and more selfies to you, knowing that these are pictures of what you think is a 16-year-old? Why did you keep accepting them?
Because I felt that the way she was presenting herself, she seemed like she was like not confident in her appearance or something. And like, you look fine, don't worry about it. And like, or like, I'm trying a new look to them. Like, yeah, you look great. And like, I didn't want to upset her by saying no, you don't. Yeah, like whatever.
Okay.
Oh, you felt bad for her, and that's why you said those things?
Not only felt bad for her, but at the same time, like I felt that like she's a depressed teenager, and teenagers, like there's a big like rate among teenagers who don't have that support in their life, and so I said, okay, well, I think it's upon me to like positive reinforcement by saying, yeah, you look nice. Like, I never said she looked hot or anything, like, because I knew that would be inappropriate. But I said, like, well, you look nice, like nice, very cute.
Okay, but like, that's still weird to say. Like, again, if this was a public context, like calling a 16-year-old cute.
Well, if I were to shout it out at a 16-year-old, yeah, that would be
so.
But if a 16-year-old came up to me and said, like, she looked depressed and like, look, Mr. or Mrs. Do you think I look pretty? Like, and I would have seen that sentence like, oh, of course you do. You look fine.
Okay, so like, if it was a public, like 16-year-old that you kind of knew about a little bit, like let's say that it was
even if it was a stranger that just came up to me and they seemed upset, and so do I look pretty? I'd be taken aback that this kid would have come up to me, but I wouldn't want to see them cry. So I'm like, oh, of course you do. You look okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, I thought it was common courtesy to do.
No, I disagree. I disagree why you would do that. If you knew their age, why the hell would you say that to someone you knew that was underage like that? Like, we're fucking in our 30s, babe. Like,
so it would be easier to just say "piss off, kid."
No, you don't say anything. You stop talking to the child and you walk away.
You know, the block
personally,
button is
I'd be like, hey, I
thing.
respectfully, will not talk to you, or something like that. Something nice, and be like, hey, I'm old enough to not talk to you. Goodbye.
All right.
What was that? 1,000 words.
Okay.
The block button. I'm sorry. What was that, Hugo? Could you repeat yourself?
Button. You could have used it.
You could have
didn't have to explain yourself.
I got a question. There's a question I was going to ask you and I forgot about it.
Take your time.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Written flashcards, man. Roll for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, flashcards. Yeah, that would work.
Okay, so
I didn't ask you.
Why did you defend lolicons?
Okay,
numerous times, by the way.
All right. Well, initially it was back in like 2021, I guess. I was like, well, it's not an actual kid. And like, who am I to like kink shame someone if it's not actually hurting someone in real life? I mean,
wait a minute.
I can say I'm not into it, but you're gonna call bullshit on me.
Wait a minute. No. Hold on. Don't assume what I think. So, what you're telling me is because these characters are fictional and nobody's getting hurt, then that makes it okay. So you're taking like a libertarian point of view on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the thing is like I've seen people who've tried to become anime characters, and they look very creepy with their eyes enlarged like that, like Jesus Christ, that looks terrifying. And then when people say, "Oh, that's a kid in that drawing," like, you know what that kid would look like in real life? They would be like a real life person. They would be terrifying. So
you think that it indicates nothing about the person who's looking about that stuff. You don't think it indicates like a broader problem they might have.
Well, here's something I found out. Not only is there actually a scientific study that disproves that or debunks what you're saying, but a lot of people who have thrown that accusation that lolicon is are pedophiles themselves. EDP 445.
So now you're you fat faggot. You didn't even answer my question.
What? Okay, what is your question again?
You think that beating off to fucking lolicon or whatever, even if there are no actual children involved, you don't think it says something negative about the person who's doing that? Like, you think you don't think there's like a broader problem with people who do that? If
they're not hurting anyone else, who am I to judge?
Well, they're not hurting anybody else, but they're thinking about it. You don't think that that's like a concern they should address? Like, people have, that.
All right, I find it analogous to
that's like saying, the guy is idle. He just has idle thoughts. Like, what the fuck is your argument?
No, my argument is like it's more analogous to he likes playing first-person shooters. Who's to say he's not thinking about taking out real guns and going to like the local mall or something? Or
okay, well,
that was so retarded. I'm not even gonna humor it.
Okay, then whatever. That was my explanation of it.
Let's let me get to my next question about the lolicon stuff. Shala, I noticed your recommendeds had like a little anime child character holding a bear. Are you a lolicon by chance?
That was a VTuber, and the lolicon.
If there's nothing wrong with it to you, you should be able to open up. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Feel
free.
Okay. Well, first of all, that was a VTuber, and it's portrayed by a grown person, and I mean, I watched Rev Says Desu, who himself says he's a lolicon, but I have never heard of any victims of his. If victims came forward, then that would be an eye opener. But going back to the girl with the teddy bear, I watch VTubers. Some of them are lolly, but it's interaction, because like me being a VTuber, I want to network with other VTubers of all types, being furries, lollies.
Okay. But like, this is a safe space, Shala. I want you to know that. So like, is it a yes or a no?
Oh well, no, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not into lolicon.
Okay.
I defend it because I don't
not that you'll give me an intelligent answer. I'm probably wasting my time asking. But why would you want to network with a lolly, whatever the fuck YouTuber? Like, that's like saying, I'm not hanging out with Harvey Weinstein because I like the guy. I just want to network. Like,
because there are you know what, you probably, well, I know you've made up your mind about me like an hour ago, but there are lolly VTubers who are as far big as corporate, and they have their gooners, and like they can't help that, like any more than a child actor can help the fact that sick individuals will beat off to that regardless. But
so
honestly, what?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yes.
No, you're good. Sorry. I was just wanting to ask, like, I'm getting mixed signals. Because like are the people into lolly, and like are they sick or are they normal people? Because a moment ago you said that they're normal people, and now you called them sick. So I'm kind of confused.
Wait, I can't.
Yeah, I mean he's got.
Is that what you meant?
I meant. Okay. I might have like overlooked. I mean, I meant that in the case of child actors, there are sick out there that are child actors. There are people who probably wank to like Guaguras or something that like I won't understand. But from what again, if they're not hurting anyone, like who am I to judge?
Can I ask a question real quick? Yes. It'll be really quick. So, Shala, let me put this into perspective. Let's say you have an anime character that clearly looks underage, but the premise is they're a 12,000-year-old dragon. They're still voiced by an adult person, but the adult person is still talking like a child. Your thoughts on that? I guess my question is, would you consider that completely acceptable for people to sexualize?
I find it a gray area. It's not something I'd sexualize. But
okay.
So like, I'm sorry. Continue.
But at the end of the day, like again, I just don't want to cross the boundary. Like everyone has to like what I like and hate what I hate. Just because I'm not into lolly doesn't mean like, oh, if you're into like. I mean, I'm also not into feet, but am I going to go around shaming people who are into feet?
Okay, those are two different. Okay.
Nobody should be into lolly. Nobody. That is fucking.
The problem with it is that it just says so much about the person who's looking at it, right?
Now let's not gang up.
It says so much.
Let's not gang up on Shala. I'm playing as Shala's defendant.
No, I was never intending to. I would
never
never do that.
I'm not trying to attack her. I'm just trying to get more information and understand.
I'm just really on edge from this.
My opinion about things.
Yeah, no,
Shala, I'm trying to understand what's going on because I don't want our friendship to end. I really don't. I think I've had a lot of time to know about you and what have you. So I'm hoping this is all a misunderstanding, or maybe you think a specific way and that's all it is. We're just trying to get what's going on in your brain.
Well,
I agree with everything Chris said.
Yeah. Basically, I want to I want to say this at the beginning, but I just thought someone would jump down my throat like, oh, that's not an excuse, that's an excuse. Like, I think.
I'm so sorry if
right.
it came off that way, babe. It wasn't.
Oh, I'm mostly talking about Tuco here because he's quick to jump down my throat about stuff.
Well, I want to get back to my question because I haven't had it answered because of interruption.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Hold on. So is it you said it was a gray area? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me humor me. Explain to me how someone who's like, I don't know, in their mid 30s, maybe like 34, whatever. It doesn't really matter what age, really, but explain to me how it's okay for that individual to look at sexual depictions of children.
If it's like straight up child pornography, then no, they need to be dealt with. But
it's okay if it's anime.
Yeah, because anime is exaggerated to like an anatomically impossible proportions. There's no way that could possibly be a real person.
No.
Okay,
no.
so
did you know that it's illegal to generate AI child, even though it's not real and it's exaggerated? Like the government,
I know.
on this stuff.
I know, but I'm not generating AI child. I know people who did, and like I've tried calling them out for it, but like, at the end of the day, I'm not doing it myself.
Shala, what you basically just said. I mean, don't you remember when we used to watch things about the White Bowser? You're saying very similar things to what he's been saying when he defends it. You basically pretty much just said it's just cartoons.
Yeah,
you understand that, right?
That's a classic Bowser move right there.
Well, you gotta think about, if it was only him just jerking it to Loli, I would have like okay, maybe like he if that was it, then I'm like maybe he's just misunderstood. But the fact that he said he's done a plethora of other things, telling a veteran to commit suicide, as well as running a Discord where he showed his hand to minors. That's definitely not okay.
Stones from glass houses, man. You had minors in your Discord.
Yeah, this isn't about Earl Doobie. This is just like you kind of acting like him. Whenever it comes to Lolly stuff, as your defendant in this case and the judge, I I must say you're doing a great job at defending yourself, Shala. You're doing seriously. I commend you. But I have further questioning to keep proving that you're innocent and all this because I'm not sure if these guys believe it, but I think you're innocent. Do you think that the people on the kiwi farms might have a very good reason to believe that you're this lolcow terrible person? Do you think that they have a good reason to think that, or do you think they're completely wrong?
Good question.
I think it's in the middle because a lot of them are assuming and just filling out the blanks with said assumptions that they're coming across circumstantial evidence and then just filling in the blanks with it. With they must be this way because of this. So like there's no solid evidence that's true.
Okay.
Can I ask a follow-up question? And
yes.
I promise I'm not going to say any aggressive.
Sure,
why do you think you as this terrible person? What screw up or miscommunication or whatever do you think that you made? Because you have to have done something if you're on these people's radar. Let's be honest.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think you did that set all this off?
Oh, I know what I did. I'm the reason why I've distanced myself is because I know better than to continue doing it. I was already on the kiwi farms. I had an account there because back in 2022 I had donated $5 to DSP because I perceived him as someone who was being ganged up on. I said, hey, here's $5. I'm sorry about the trolls, all that. I wake up the next day and my Twitter is flooded with people telling me to f myself and stuff. And one of these trolls actually clarified hi from the kiwi farms and stuff. And so that's what piqued my interest. So I made an account there This was back in July 2022, or yeah, it was 2022. Fast forward to about like July of this year. Now, I had this stalker on Twitter, Gordon Pale, who I told Zoe about this, and along with being creepy, very creepy, and an internet tough guy of some of sorts, because like he would say like he would make videos just kind of pretty much like a mellowed out Cyrex, like I'm going to ruin you, like you better watch yourself because I am coming for you, or that kind of stuff, nonsense, just all bravado. One of my friends who keeps up with Twitter drama, she posts about like, oh my God, Gordon filed a personal armory request against me, and now he got some his cheeks clapped on Kiwi Farms, and so I was interested, like, oh, I go see this, and they exposed one of his accounts as like throwaway 3208 or something.
Okay, let's. I'm sorry. Let's put a pin on that and come back to it later if we can.
All right, I'm just basically. I'm sorry.
Give me the long story short. Give me the long story short.
So long.
I don't need every fucking detail.
Long story short, I started interacting with his thread because there was a thread made on him, and I said refute in court N-word because the thing about the Kiwi Farms is you don't want to connect it any way to yourself. So like I thought, not.
I think I heard this song and dance before, so spare me the fucking trouble. You think there's absolutely nothing else that could have contributed to this that you haven't told us?
I'm getting to that, but you're not letting me finish. Anyway,
jump to it. Speed up.
Okay, so
chop.
So I said, like, what if I do go after this guy, given how much of a piece of shit he is? And they say, well, then you get banned from here. And so I thought to myself, well, it would be nice to get my account banned from here because, like, I really have no more use here. I can just read. I can read it without an account. And so they started noticing me because I was talking about the thread on Twitter, and I said, "How do I get the focus off me?" I'll what they call gay ops myself. They wanted to know who was really Harvey Denthead. They started like posting more of my stuff, and I mistakenly.
You've told this story before.
Okay,
you've told this story before. I want new information, or I want no information at all.
All right. Well, for everyone else, it's because I pulled the gay ops on the Kiwi Farms.
No, you're gonna do things my way. You're gonna do things my way, or you're gonna shut up. Is that understood?
Okay. All right.
Now, do you know what the word introspection means?
Self-reflection, pretty much. Self-criticality.
Interesting. Okay. If anyone has another question,
I have a question. Shala. Well, this is more like two questions. Do you see yourself above people like Earl Doobie and Chris Chan? And do you, if you don't see yourself above them, do you see yourself as a lolcow? How do you feel about your
I see myself above them because I'm self-aware.
Are you
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not fighting your. I mean, everything you've showed me, like, okay, yeah, I guess I did do that, but at the same time, like, I've argued against some of the stuff. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a good Christian, I would never do that. I'm a perfect being, or something like what Earl Doobie or Christian would say. Like,
well, I have further questions.
I don't think you're introspective. I don't think you're self-aware. I think you're cornered. I don't think you can run anymore, and you know that.
I have more questions.
Future Moth here to interrupt everything once more. I have to edit out a lot of the stuff that Shala here talks about in the next few minutes again, because she goes off about Israel and Palestine and a variety of issues that are political and very heated. I'm not really interested in having that in my channel, and I'm not super interested in YouTube getting onto me about it, thinking that I want certain groups of people to be yeah, so just know that I'm gonna be editing out a lot of that stuff. Shala has quite the political mind, let's just say.
Do you or do you not think it's okay for a 38-year-old person to talk to a 16-year-old about Israel and very complicated political and even warfare matters? Like, why did you feel like it was your place to tell good old Zoe that?
Honestly, I didn't see a problem with it. You bringing it up, you bringing it up now, there's obviously a problem with it, and I'm now realizing that.
You're only realizing it because I'm telling you, though. Don't you see, like, the issues with this?
Exactly.
No,
Like,
you don't. I'm sorry, Shala. You just. It's not even the fact you get it now. It's the fact that you did it and you thought it was okay.
yeah. I mean, I'm slow. I'm slow to
listen. Okay, if Cyrix was sending kisses to a 16-year-old, is that bad?
Given who he is, yes. He's not.
So the context is the individual.
I think it's the context of said individual. Now, well, obviously, I know no different. Like, under no circumstances whatsoever. Even if like they're like, even if it looks like dire situations don't interact. But let's dial it back to before you told me that if Cyrix was a smart person, let's go all out. Let's say he was a trans woman who had compassion and stuff, just like me, and he were like being mindful of what he was saying around kids and stuff. I would have felt that was like initially, like I'd be like, are you sure you want to? You don't want to run that by someone who would probably know better than you, which is what I did a rant by Zazel, and he said it was okay.
Okay, and like, why do you think? Like, I know you said, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna ask it. You already answered. With a simple yes or no, do you think that you are a lol cow?
Yes.
Okay, my next question. Another yes or no question. Do you enjoy the attention?
No.
Okay, that follow-up question. Why did you go on BSR's stream?
This was before Zazel said, they've already made up their mind. This was before Zazel told me about how they fun.
No, I told you it was always a bad idea to ever go on panel for anybody, especially BSR. Don't sit there and say this was before I told you no. I always said it was a bad idea. I thought you knew it was a bad idea.
You never explained why it was.
No, go ahead, Shala. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You never explained why. I thought like.
We can
maybe
explain why it was a bad idea, babe.
Yeah, you said it was a bad idea, but you didn't explain in why. And I'm unfortunately one of those people to question everything. And so I went on, and then it was after I went on and made a fool of myself that Zazel said, this is what they do. They've already made up their mind about you, like 10 minutes before you got even.
10 minutes. They had stuff on you hours, probably days before they had you on panel. They were already for you.
Okay.
I know. I hated that for you. I really did. I hated that you had to go through that. Like, girl, you should have known going on there and paneling up was going to be a bad idea.
Here's the thing, though. Shala has watched so many of the same content that we've watched. We have seen what happens to people who goes on these panels. Logic would dictate, Shala, that you would have learned from watching these same videos as we do that you never, ever go on panel. Did it work out for Jupiter? No, it didn't. Did it work out for White Thousand? No, it didn't, because it never worked out.
Well,
it never worked out.
They only want to hate on people. They only want to shit on people, which is what they tried to do with you, Shala, and it sucks.
So, in order to explain this, I'm going to have to dial it back to before I learned all of this. And that is that, I was seeing stuff like Jupiter and Cyrix and stuff like, these people are idiots. Like, you can say, like with this voice chat, I've been an idiot, but like what Moth said, like I've been pretty good with defending myself. And so I thought, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they just want to talk to someone logical who won't be so. They expect an utter idiot to come on, and so let me disprove that.
They thought you were that idiot, though. Like
and it turned out I was. Yes.
Okay. So they invited you on panel, and that's why you went. Okay. My next question is okay, I have two different questions. I'll get to this one first because I think this one is slightly more important. And you gotta tell me the truth, Shala. I can't help you out of this situation unless you tell me the truth.
Yeah.
So do you have a thing for humiliation?
Not at all.
Okay, then why are you picking fights with these people all the time? If it's not for attention or humiliation, what is it? What do you seek to gain?
I gotta agree. I have to agree. Why? Dude, we told you so many times.
I think it's anger issues. I think it's anger issues. Like I have I know better now because of everything I've been through, but at the time, like I had I'm pretty sure I had a few ooze and like, you know what, I'm gonna go there and just end all this or something, but unfortunately they kept goalposts moving and then so I hopped off and like, okay, I see what they're doing now. I feel stupid.
Okay, well,
aside from that one instance where I thought I had a victory, and Zazel pointed out, like, no, you could not have made it any worse. And then like, oh dear.
Yeah, because like I'm gonna be honest, it's all kind of dude. Like
It is.
I have further questions about you personally. I don't understand your like entire sexuality. It's very confusing to me, and I want to understand. So you're not attracted to your husband because he's a man, or your engaged fiance, whatever. You're not attracted to him, and you don't have sex with him, and you want to get the sex change done. Like, you know what? I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of that. But one big question. Haley's mentioned this before. Do you believe that you are Schala Zeal from Chrono Trigger?
Not at all.
Really?
I could go into a story, but clearly, given like the atmosphere right now, you're only looking for small answers. But that would, but to answer your question simply, no, I'm not.
Well, then what was Haley talking about?
So I was just gonna say, so you don't truly believe you are Schala Zeal from Chrono Trigger? Like, you don't believe you're the character, you're a reincarnation, whatever?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
To give you a very short answer,
I saw the tweet though that said that you thought you were though, and that's why I'm like feeling like this.
Was that from 2008 by chance?
I have no idea, man. I have no
So,
idea.
when I first decided this in 2008, oh god damn it, my display. Let me fix my display real quick. It just decided to anyway, when I first came out this way in 2007, I might have bullshit myself and others, but my friend Janice,
well, I mean, if it was 2007, that's fucking years ago.
Yeah, it was, and it's just the way Janice pulled me aside. The way I explained it to him, he actually said, "So you think she's like an ethos, like you embody here, kind of like how Americans body George Washington, kind of like." Okay. And I was like, exactly.
Okay. All right. I'm getting tired, and I want to go ahead and like conclude everything that was discussed here. Shala, you believe that you would be arrested by the FBI if they were investigating you with a catfish similar to Zoe Taylor. You said that earlier. And just like all this heinous shit about lollies and lollicons, and you said that you're above Earl Doobie, and maybe in some ways you might be, but really you're very similar to him. As the judge of this operation, I think it's well and fair enough to let everybody say their final piece about the verdict before I make it.
All right.
I think I'll start. Shala, we've been buddies for a while. This whole thing has not been easy on me. Don't think this is like something kind of like some evil malice against you or something, but I'm willing to assume most of what you've done was just out of ignorance. Like maybe you didn't know better, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know, but I just want you to know this isn't personal, but it doesn't look good. And that's really all I gotta say. It doesn't look good.
All right.
All right. So who's next?
Okay.
If that's it, Haley, Adam.
Yeah, I'm here. I got something I want to say.
Okay.
Shala, I loved you. You were one of my closest friends. You kept me updated when I was off the internet. I was so close to you, and to find out that you're talking to a minor, it really hurt me, because you always made it seem like that you didn't want to talk to minors. You didn't like minors. And we're in our 30s. What the fuck do we have in common with them? But I don't know. Take care of yourself. Quit fucking with the trolls. And I guess that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
I was hoping I'd get to go second to last. Contrary to these two, and I don't know what they see in you, I think you are so beyond stupid that it's fathomable to me you even exist. I'm talking to a character. I feel like I'm talking to Christian. It's pathetic. And, we're lucky to live in the time you live in right now, because like I said, even in different parts of the world, you would be destroyed. It's your lack of self-preservation. I have to think it's some kind of masochism. I have to think that you're asking for all of this, because my brain cannot comprehend another human being this incapable of self-preservation, and another human being just being this completely irrational. I have to think that you're asking for it. And frankly, you are a fucking dog. And I really don't feel an ounce of shame about that. Fuck you, Shala. Fuck you.
Well,
damn.
Well,
if I might say something real quick.
Sure.
Shut up. I don't want to hear you respond to me.
Okay.
I was gonna say, in spite of all that, just the fact that sorry.
No, go ahead, you guys.
I would say, despite everything he just said, that didn't nearly make me upset as when Haley opened up. It's just the fact that I heard someone else that was
gonna put this on me? Really?
No.
Shala, mute her.
I didn't say anything about blaming Haley. I said just
say your piece and wrap this up. She's not going to say anything important.
Okay. Shala, my verdict on everything.
I would say like
See where you're talking about. You got to be specific.
Okay. Despite all the insults lobbed at me didn't faze me. What fazed me was Haley opening it up to me, like that really got to me. That's what really opened. That's what really.
Okay. All right. Okay. I've heard enough.
And not in a bad way.
I have one last question.
Okay.
Shala, do you want to be friends with me?
I would.
Answer.
Yes, I would.
So you want to be friends with old Stod Moth? Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you the verdict. You failed. You fucked it up, dude. Like, you really screwed the pooch on this one. I'm not your buddy. I'm not your friend. I'm not even that good of a person. Like, I screwed around with you for a while, and what I found was that you were kissing up to a 16-year-old girl. I started out with that statement, and I'm ending it with that statement. You fucked up. You screwed up. And, you know, there are consequences, and there's no excuse for it. You knew that she was 16. You knew that she was talking to all these adults that she shouldn't even be talking to. She shouldn't be talking to Zazzle. Why the fuck is she talking to Zazzle? He's fucking in his 40s, for God's sake. And, you know, I tried to give you some heart. I felt sorry for you whenever I first met you and tried to give you a lot of advice that you didn't listen to. You didn't listen to me, Shala. You instead scampered off and went to go play with BSR and play with Kiwi Farms and constantly complain about them. My final verdict is that you are probably a pedophile. You're a lol cow. You might be a horror cow. I don't know what else you got going on in your closet. I think the fact that you insulted my good buddy Adam Carolla is awful. You don't treat my friends like this, Shala. You don't treat Haley like this. You don't treat people like this. You disposed of Haley like she was nothing. She was nothing to you. That 16-year-old, she was everything. Poor little Shala, trying to help our 16-year-old girl and sending her kissy pictures and sending her love. You were saying that you loved her, Shala. You said that you loved her. Do you not understand, like, what this means? It means that you're a creep. You are just like Earl Doobie. You're just like Cyrax, and you are most definitely like a creep. Like, you do not understand about how much bull I had to deal with you and how long I wanted to just get rid of you because I knew that you were going to do some weird with the 16-year-old, and you did. You fell for it. You're no different than Earl Doobie. You're no different from him. You're the closest thing to him. Really, you are. You're not a Cyrax. You're not a Chris Chan. You're an Earl Doobie. Get over it. You lost. Congratulations.
Wait, can you dance like Earl Doobie too?
That's a good question.
Also, Shala,
Yes.
this is the last thing I'm gonna fucking say to you, and you better fucking do it. Take
I'm listening.
a shower. I'm done.
Oh.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
So I hope you all enjoyed this 2-hour long little documentary of Shala that I have right here. A lot of archive videos that I have still in the back burner. You know, I have a few more videos. I didn't think they're as interesting. Maybe I'll make a second one of these if you guys really want to see it. I'm not sure, but I gotta do my shout outs and go ahead and wrap this up. Shala, you know, was a wild ride. It was an interesting 3 months. I experienced a lot of weird stuff. I had to go through a lot of weird encounters whenever it came to talking to Shala. That was pretty evident enough with it all. But let me go ahead and do my shout outs. And I want to thank you for watching. If you made it this far, it's a 2-hour long video, but let me go ahead and wrap this up. Now, I'd like to shout out Cloak, William Herrera, Okie Doll, Greek Girl, Acquiesce Peters, Mad33s, Lucas Werner, Dragon X Rage, Mad33s again, Dark Chocolate, Okie Doll again, Roboto Sand, Bakano Sensei, Fill Me Up Dude, Charlie Girl, Edward Walden Hain, Poofy Mooncakes, Beavis Malverde, Tranter, Genties, Honda Civic, Slasher Minifilms, Watch Me Print, Nolan, Digital Dream, Tanis Finest, Atatapu, is that how you pronounce it? Sorry, bucko. TJ Bender, James, Pete Popov, Creddy, Quickville Cop, Spend 48, Joshua Roberts, Misty Kitty and Whiskers, Sweaty Prolapse, John Christian Cavelli, Momar, Joshua Baker, Chris's H, D. Wilkins, Synthetic Derangement, Mechanic Drew, Ripped Pantyhose, Daniel Evans, Visa Runty, Purple Peak, Brian Rizzo, Mr. Fantastic, Hopper, Betsy Blackbird, Fruipty, Murderous Mushroom, Cammy Uzma, Paul, Pug, Eggs, Jet of Council of 8, Troticus Maximus, Raven in Flight, Ivy Scooting, Firewolf Kanji, Bogey Fan, Vibe System, Kenny C Music, Filler, Cali Dude, Rocket Queen, Miss Starscream, Level 25, Sushi Cat Yum, Raspy Wolf, David Grunga, Shutterdown Sam, Bones Wild, Eyes of the Sea, Primeval, Yamama Secretly David, Box Room, Costas, Stephen Thurman, Thomas Usman, Death God Duo, Dreadhead David, Haley Cantaloupe Cakes, Lee William, The Stream That Jake Build, Bob64, Saggy Raggy, Rax Corp, Moth Loves Attracting, Nerdy Birdie, Jojo's Woodshed, Rolled Up Podcast, Spectre Blue, Sumstoner69, Dion, M. White, David and Fred Slapfight, Steve from Wormhaven, Unknown Poster, Orange Jasmine, Azafi, Stylicide Silence, Sauce, Builder Cat, Propane's Non-Existence, Me Seeks, Rocket Queen, Elijah Webster, Emily's Dismantling Delulus, Wild Weaver Gaming, Lord Humongous, Alyssa Jakilek, Incoherent Screaming, Demon King Pickles, Itchy Genitals, Hammond Egger, Punky Squill 666, Joyful Danae, Mama Becky, Timothy McGettigan, William Herrera again, Michael Feldman, Banshee XL, Oppenheimer, B, Heshi, Orky Cook, The Hatman, Newman, Tripes and Triches, Lord of Worlds, Una, Not As Flattering, Big Silos, Alyssa Burdick, Depressed Rabbit, Easy Street, Megan is a Ghoul Lover, Disc, 2 number 2s, Nivik, Epic Winner, Alex HT, Electric Lou, Kino Tech USA, Mark Lasts, B Salt, Bean Burrito, Joshua Benia, Only Fighting Me, Ultra Mega Jesus, Raymond Sanchez, Moth Stole Blues Only Clue, Spoon TV, Anime Lover Shihan, Sewer Slide Station, Nick Cliff, Kellogg, Cabs, Imbode, House of Dar, Chiefy Keef, G-Man, Protokino, Dark Doms, Jet Maximum, Miss Meowstein, Lucky Luke, Dave Peterson, Ruben Gridge, Funky Fresh Salvador, Red, Uranus, Tamron Hall, Steve from Machete Squad, Corey Rosales, The Sludge Count, The Hod Slayer, Adam M, Stephanie Swan, Great White Hype, Lasad Boy, Meat Ogre, Magic Princess, Silvagen, AIDS, Claudio Diaz, Bebop Cowboy, Zeb, Flipson, Mike Onzol, The Raven Corax, Not So Dank, Missy Prissy, Gnome Body, Mick Eld, Goth Queen, Sewer Slime, Final Girl, Never Around, Mitcat, Waterberry's Greatest, OGG, Random Games, Fall Autumn, Jason Hunter, Lotus Man, Fritzy's Findings, Herb Woods, Abe, 5715, Diesel's Grannies, Jeff of the David Clan, Smithers, Fearless Jake, Lard David Reverence, Drew York, Pantera, A Turder of Crows, Pink Armored Frog, A Man Named Jack, Sofa Ninja, Sinshine, Akanatum, Mango Stars, Isaac, Isometric Draft, William Forte, Sparky, Merville, Jack Burton, Matthias, Arya Mighty, Sinister, Matt, Retro, Rapture Seeker, Matthew Barb, The Rich Desk, RBL, Gilliam, M3 Kita, Your Wizard Shark. And that's all 238 members. Thank you guys for y'all's support. You guys are amazing. I love you all. And take it easy, my friends. You know, the week just started, you know, and it's still gonna keep going. It's a wild ride, my friends. It's a wild ride, but hang in there. You know, we're halfway almost. We're almost halfway. But take care and peace out.